What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Let me go ahead and lighten this up a little bit. All right, so just finished watching episode 7 of House of the Dragon. Before I get into this video, just a quick reminder, my reaction will be under my YouTube memberships. If you are not a member over there, I suggest you go over there and check that out so you can see my reaction to this, along with all the other episodes and all the other shows that I am watching. I have 2 levels over there. One of them is level 1. That is for $2.99, and you're going to get priority replies from me, special polls, and you're going to get live streams with me, and that's for members only. Level 2 is for $4.99, and you're going to get everything that level 1 has, plus you're going to get all of my reactions to this show, Dragon Ball, Naruto, She-Hulk, any movies that I may watch, and all of my uncut Try Not to Laughs. All right, so let's get into this episode. Now, this episode started with, this episode to me was really intense. There was a lot of emotions in this episode for a lot of different reasons. This was absolutely, for the most part, each episode that I've watched, I've kind of, talked and maybe said a few things, but this one was very intense. It was more of one of those episodes where you just have to observe everything. So in the beginning, they're sending off the Valerian sister. I forget her first name. As we know, in the last episode, she killed herself. She was pregnant. She was going to die anyway because her baby was just not coming out. Neither one of them was going to survive. So they sent her off, and, they did her funeral or whatever. And so afterwards, everyone was just kind of standing around, somber, but with so many, you can tell there was so much tension between everybody, even between the children, between the queen, Rhaenyra, the king. At one point, he goes to talk to his brother, Damien, who I didn't know how he was feeling. He didn't really talk much about it. I couldn't tell if he just didn't care, if he was grieving. At one point, I guess, his wife's uncle was talking before they threw her in the sea, and he began to chuckle. And I'm just like, what kind of twisted feeling is he feeling right now that he's chuckling in the middle of them sending his wife off, who's deceased? So at one point, Rhaenyra goes to her son, and she basically tells her son, look, you need to at least say something to the kids. They're going through a lot. He doesn't want to. So then he walks over to the girls finally, and one of the girls grabs his hand. They're both still crying and everything. And then the queen's son, the youngest one, comes and just kind of looks over at him while he's standing in between this little fire pit type of thing. And they don't say anything to each other, but he walks off. So then that happens. And then the queen is kind of looking at Rhaenyra I don't know, trying to size her up or watch her move or something. And then Rhaenyra is too busy looking at Damien. Damien's all by himself, and it's just really weird. Everybody's on edge, and I don't know what it is about the father. I forget his name, the Valerian. He is so on it just to get his wife's crown back or get her to be queen or something, and she's over it, but he's not. So they're having a conversation at one point. But at one point when they're outside, the king goes to talk to Damien. He basically tells him look, if you need anything, you're my brother. And he just doesn't want to hear it. Damien is just an a-hole. He's really a jerk. So anyway, moving right along. So then we see that Rhaenyra, her and Damien's going back at it again. So they're having a conversation as they're walking outside, and she basically tells him you left me, and she's clearly in love with him. throughout their conversation, she basically says to him, well, I'm not a little girl anymore. Like, I need you type of thing. And they start doing it. And I'm just like, oh my God. So they finally did it. And I just still can't get over that. Like, this is your niece, dude. Like, what are you doing? I don't know. But then back then, that's just, I guess that's how things were. It wasn't anything that was kind of looked down upon, I guess. That's how you kind of kept the bloodline going. I don't know. But it's still a little strange to me. But anyway, so along that, the young son of the queen goes and basically steals the dragon, which is supposed to be, um, I don't want to call her queen, but the Valerian sister, the one that passed away, that's her dragon, and that was supposed to be passed on to her daughter. He goes and takes it and goes on this joyride, can barely ride it. Finally, he comes back because they don't know who took it. They saw that the dragon was stolen by someone, but then when he got back, um, they were like, "Yeah, it was him," and he was like, "Yeah, it was me." And all the kids start getting into a fight, and he calls Rhaenyra's sons bastards, and the girls are trying to defend themselves, and they're literally all like fist fighting at this point. So then he threatens to the youngest one to hit him with a rock. Then the other one throws sand in his face. The younger one grabs a knife and literally slices his face, takes his eye out. Now they're all, after all this happens, now they are in the middle of this this room. The king's there, the queen, Rhaenyra, everybody's there now. And now he's demanding answers. Like, what the hell happened? They're all blaming each other. Nobody believes anybody. The queen is clearly has got some vendetta towards Rhaenyra. So Rhaenyra takes the opportunity to say, well, my kids were called a bastard, and, they're who their father is in question, basically. So the son who lost his eye, the king asked him what happened. Who did you hear this from? He looks at the queen like she's the one who told him, but then he blames his brother. So he goes to the brother, the oldest one, the one that's always drunk or drinking or whatever. And he's like, who told you this? And he's like, everybody can see it. Just look at them. Obviously, he doesn't have the white dreads, and so they're all like, he's like, everybody sees it. Everybody knows. So at this point now, the queen wants an eye for an eye. So she wants one of Rhaenyra's son's eyes in place of her son's eye. And the king is like, nah, like, leave this alone. Everybody, we're all family. He just going about it like they were just like his son didn't lose an eye, which was really crazy to me. It's like, your son don't got an eye, but you just want everybody to apologize and go to bed. So the queen ain't having it. So she's just like, I want. So then she goes and she tries to send her guard, what's his name, Christian, to literally like hurt one of Rhaenyra's kids, and the king is like, no, like, let this go. And she's like, oh, the queen says this. The king shuts her up, like shuts her down. So she grabs his knife and then starts going after Rhaenyra's kids. Rhaenyra stopped them, but then she ends up stabbing Rhaenyra and slicing her arm up. So Rhaenyra's just like, finally, we get to see who you really are. So basically now the queen looks absolutely crazy. The king is just pissed off at this point. He has just had it with everything and everyone. Once again, he looked a little better in this episode, but he still got one foot in the grave at this point. He does not have time to be arguing or fighting or in the middle of any mess or being stressed out at this point. So, moving right along. So then, now, Rhaenyra's husband, one of the Valerian brother, I forget his name, Loceris or something like that. Loceris, I think I'm saying that right. I get so mixed up with all their names still. But anyway, I'm like, where has he been this whole time? So he basically tells her, like, look, you deserve a husband. I'm sorry. Basically apologizing because she's just like, yo, like, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And we had an agreement type of thing. So they're talking, they're having a conversation. He's like, I'm gonna do better, I'm gonna do better. So now, moving right along. Um, so the king is off on the ship with her, and then the creepy guy with the cane is also on there. And at one point, he's having a conversation with the queen, and he's basically telling her, like, look, if you need me to take the eye out of that kid, I'll do it, type of thing. And I'm like, I'm still trying, I need to know who's his clique? Who is it? What group is he part of? Like, what what is he involved? Who is he involved with? Like, because he's no good. That dude with the cane is no good. Killed his own brother and set fire to his people's house. It is just something's up with that dude. But anyway, she's like, no, but I'm gonna need a friend to confide in at some point. So now we see that Rhaenyra and Damien are sitting here having a conversation and basically plotting on marrying each other and trying to figure out how they're going to do it because they just want to be stronger together, knowing that their family is ruling everything. So he's like, we can't get married unless, you know, Cerys is dead. She's like, I know. So they go to plot to go kill her husband so they can get married. So he goes to one of the guards and he basically tells him, like, look, I need you to do a little quick little death for me. So he ends up going to the father's, Valerian father's quarters, and he finds he's waiting for Rhaenyra's husband there. And they get into the sword fight, and then all of a sudden you see that somebody is pushed into the fire. Somebody was burned alive. So the mom and the dad come in and they're crying and they're thinking it's him. And they're like, oh my God, like, how could you let this happen? Blah, blah, blah. And then in between this, you see that Damien and Rhaenyra is getting married. Both of their kids are being witnesses to this, and they're drinking blood and they're doing all this ritual type of stuff. And I'm just like, man, like, this is so nuts. This is absolutely nuts. And at the end of the episode, we see the guy that Damien sent to kill the Valerian dude getting into the boat with another dude, and the dude that jumps in after him is the Valerian dude. He cut his dreads off and he, I guess, escaped. So that's where the episode ended, and I'm like, wait a minute. So who the hell was thrown into the fire? Who got burned alive? And did the Valerian dude, Viserys, was he part of this plan? Or did he escape them trying to murder him? Like, what happened there? Like, I just have so many questions. And so this episode was just full of emotions and full of tension and full of so much intensity. It was crazy. So we're going to have to see what happens in the next episode. But this was definitely a good one. I definitely enjoyed it. I hope you guys too. I hope you guys did too. And I want to know what you guys think. Like, do you guys think that he knew about the plot? Or did he escape? Or, matter of fact, I kind of think he knew because the guy that was sent to kill him is with him. So, and there was a little boy that was kind of witness to it. And then the guards came. Something was up with that. I think maybe he knew and he was part of it. And he is off to escape to go do his own thing and leave her behind with the kids, knowing that the kids aren't his. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But anyway, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you enjoyed my reaction. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know what you think is going to happen next. What do you think of all the intensity of this episode? It was crazy. Yeah. And don't forget to go over there and check out my reaction if you are a member. If you're not, what are you waiting for? If you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel, hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later. Toodles!